So we won't tax your income. We'll just go ahead and tax your outgo. That's what their plan is. The taxes that have been levied against the people of this country have just barely scratched the surface. That's why we're here today. Because they have things in mind that you can't even fathom. I see a number of signs out there today saying, just say no to socialism. I see just say no to progressive socialism, liberalism, and so on and so forth. I want to quote, because some people think that's nuts. Some people think it is absolutely crazy, that we're insane to think that the United States of America, the greatest nation on earth, the sole superpower in this world, could ever turn to socialism. They think they're nuts. Maybe they're right. I want to quote the great communicator. Ronald Reagan once shared the words of an American socialist from back in 1927. Maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. He was a candidate for president for the Socialist Party. Norman Thomas was his name. Thomas said, and this was related by Ronald Reagan, that, quote, the American people would never vote for socialism. But under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program. Right. End quote. That was in 1927. 82 years later, here we stand, and we are closer to socialism now than we've ever been, and it's all under the guise of the progressive liberal movement. That's what we are facing, and that, honestly, is what we have to be fighting. Do you think we can combat socialism? Yeah! Yes, we can. I've got news for you. It is going to be a long, hard fight. And I'll tell you why. Because the current far-left movement in this country is changing people's minds. I'm going to give you a very unsettling quote, a little bit of statistical analysis that the Rasmussen people did. The latest Rasmussen poll, maybe you heard this one. If you didn't, you're going to want to hear this. They surveyed average Americans and asked them, of all age brackets, which economic model was superior. Do you know that barely half of Americans actually said they prefer capitalism to socialism? Just 53%. 27%, no, I take that back. 20% actually said outright they prefer socialism. 27% said I haven't quite decided yet. Are you worried about our future yet? Yeah. Wait until I tell you about our future. In that same survey, 18 to 30-year-olds, the young adults, the ones that are going to be leaving this country, of those 18 to 30-year-olds surveyed, the numbers were split right down the middle. 37% say they prefer capitalism. 33% say they prefer socialism. That's within the margin of error, so it's right down the middle. And just 20% said they were under, I take that, 30% say they were undecided. This is the product, my friends, of the media, some of which are covering us right now. Decades of re-education, decades of brainwashing, decades of the schools, academia, brainwashing the youth of America into thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. The warm smile of President Obama goes a long way. The warm smile, the charm, the charisma. This is, if he says to you that only the government, only the government knows how to fix our economy, that the government knows how to rejuvenate our economy, that only the government can spend your money wisely enough to fix the economy rather than you and the business owners that are the backbone and the lifeblood of this nation. People believe him. They are listening. They think that the government is supposed to fix it. He and the leadership of this country right now have become daddy. And they want a nation of dependent children saying, we can't do it, Daddy. Can you give me $1 for my allowance, sir? That's what they want you to do. And that is what they're becoming successful at doing, and only you can say, no, I am going to stand up on my own 2 feet. I am going to